Hello all the students, let us quickly solve RE-NEET 2026 Botany paper. We will be discussing all the key from the set 8. So in this video, we will solve the botany questions along with which chapter the question is being asked in the NEET exam. So starting from the 95th question, it's about the match the following, and this question is from biomolecules. Starch is the energy storage. We know this, the stored food material is the starch. And the antibody will be fighting against the infections, that is antigen. GLUT4, glucose transmitter 4 is helpful for the glucose transport. Concavalin A is lectin. So the answer will be 1. 97. This is also match the following question, and this is from the cell chapter. Cristae are the so we have cristae, cisternae, thylakoids, and the phospholipids. So if you observe, the phospholipids are for the cell membrane D3. So if you are observing, we have D3. It's only one option, and let us check the rest of it. Thylakoids are seen in the chloroplast. So the flat membrane sac in the stroma of the chloroplast. That's one. And cisternae. Cisternae can be seen in the Golgi apparatus, whereas the cristae are the foldings in the mitochondria. So, answer will be 1 here. Next question, the phyllotaxy. This is from the morphology. It is says about the arrangement of leaves. So, phyllo, phylum, phyllis are related to the leaf. So, the arrangement of leaf patterns on the stem or on the plant, we call it as the phyllotaxy. This question is from the cell chapter. So we have majorly the 4 different shapes of bacteria. The spherical is called as cocci. Rod-shaped is bacilli. Comma-shaped is vibrio. And the spiral-shaped is spirillum. So the answer will be 3. Next is length of the stem at time 0 is 20 centimeters. The arithmetic growth is 30 centimeters per day. What is the length of the stem at the end of the day 7? So this question is from plant growth and development. So let us quickly solve this. First we need to know the formula of the arithmetic growth, that is LT is equal to L naught plus RT. So LT, the total growth will be seen, the length will be seen on the 7th day is equal to initial is 20 centimeters plus 30 centimeters arithmetic growth is seen within the days of 7. So 20 plus 30 into 7 is 210 is equal to 230 centimeters. So the answer will be 230 centimeters. Next, the given are the two statements. This question is from the plant kingdom. Direct NCERT lines again. In gymnosperms, the male and the female uh, gametophytes remain within the sporangia. So this is the correct statement. So male, female are present in the microsporangia, megasporangia. So this is the correct statement. In gymnosperm, seeds are not covered. Yes, because the gymnosperms are containing the naked seeds which are not covered by any fruit. So both the statements are marked as the correct. So here answer will be 4. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum function is. This question is from the cell chapter. It is the major site for the synthesis of lipids. Actively involved in protein synthesis, that is the RER. And RER is only helpful for it. So this is SER is for lipid synthesis, whereas the RER is for protein synthesis. How many molecules of pyruvic acid are produced at the end of glycolysis from 206 molecules of glucose? This question is from respiration in plants. So we all know that one glycolysis or one glucose molecule undergo the glycolysis, we will be getting 2 molecules of pyruvate. For 1 glucose, 2 molecules. For 206 glucose molecules, how many pyruvate molecules? So 206 into 2. What do we get is 412 pyruvate molecules. So answer is 412. The correct sequence of adult cell cycle phases. This question is from cell biology, cell cycle chapter. So if you observe the cell cycle, we have the interphase in that subphases are G1, S and G2. All these three are interphase and next starts the M phase. We have the subphases under the mitotic phases as well. So G1, S, G2 and M phase is the correct one. Cell theory was formulated by. This question is from the cell chapter, that is Schleiden and Schwann. 109. Uh, Chromosomes are fully condensed at the end of prophase 1. So usually this question is from, one second, yeah, cell cycle and cell division. Chromosomes are fully condensed at the end of prophase 1. Usually prophase 1, which is there in the meiosis 1, under that karyokinesis 1, we have the 5 subphases. So those are leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. So after completion of all these, at the end of diakinesis, which is marked as the end of prophase 1, all the chromosomes will be fully condensed. So this statement is correct. Meiosis 1 resembles the mitosis. This marked as wrong. But meiosis 2 is equal to the mitosis, because in the meiosis 1, the diploid cell is forming the haploid cell, whereas in the meiosis 2, the haploid cells are forming the haploid cell. So meiosis 2 is resembling the mitosis, not the meiosis 1. So the statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Option 1. Which of the following statements regarding photorespiration are correct? So this question is from the photosynthesis. From the photorespiration subtopic, it do not occur in C3 plant. This is wrong statement. Usually photorespiration occurs only in the C3 plants. CO2 is consumed and oxygen is generated. No. Oxygen is consumed, CO2 will be generated. Phosphoglycolate is formed. Correct. No synthesis of ATP and NADPH, because this is considered as the waste process. So obviously there is no energy sources will be given. So correct statements for the photorespiration are C and D. Which of the following are characteristics of prokaryotic cell? Again, this question is from cell chapter. Ribosomes are made of 50 and the 30 subunits. Usually prokaryotes will contain the 70S type of ribosomes and it is made up of 50 and the 30 subunits. This is correct. They have the plasmids, which are extra chromosomal materials. That is a feature of prokaryotic cell. This is also correct. They contain the mesosomes. Mesosomes are called as the infoldings of cell membrane, can be seen, and they have the peroxisomes. No, peroxisomes are present only in eukaryotes, which are absent in the prokaryotes. So the correct characters of the prokaryotic cell is only A, B, C. Endomembrane system includes. So usually we have the, this question is from the cell chapter. We know that all the eukaryotic cells will be containing the nucleus and they are surrounded with the nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is double membrane cell organelle. The outer nuclear membrane will be forming the extensions of foldings, which is forming the endoplasmic reticulum. Under this we have the rough endoplasmic and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. These will be forming the Golgi bodies. Golgi bodies are forming the vesicles packed with the digestive enzymes and also the vacuoles. All these four are formed from the nuclear membrane that can be seen only in the eukaryotic cells. So this is called as GERLV system. It's simply called as a GERL system. I added V also here because that's for the vacuole. Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, lysosomes, and the vacuole is the correct answer. So this time 2 to 3 questions were being asked from the Living World chapter. This question is from Living World. So family ends with the ACA. So Anacardiaceae is a family. Genus Mangifera indica. So the Mangifera is the genus. Class is Dicotyledone. Phylum is phylum or the division. Actually, division is for the plants. Phylum is for the animals. So it is Angiospermae. Order ends with the ale. So Sapindales. Answer will be this. Which of the following plant growth regulators promote the internode elongation prior to flowering in the cabbage? So wherever the internodal elongation comes, that is bolting. Bolting and malting are the process we will be discussing under the gibberellic acid. So this question is from the PGR. Whenever the internode's length is elongated, then the whole plant will be grown. So usually they are extracted from fungi, that is Gibberella fusicori, which is causing a Bacane disease or foolish seedling disease in the case of rice plants. So that is gibberellic acid. This process is called as the bolting. The plastid that stores the xanthophyll. We know the xanthophyll is a pigment like carotenoids, chlorophyll. Same way, xanthophyll is a type of pigment. The plastids are storing the xanthophyll are called as a chromoplast. Chromo is colored. Not only the xanthophyll, that can be erythrin, cyanin, or any other chlorophyll, carotenoids, any pigment can be stored. That is called as a chromoplast. So plast means the molded structures. So these are the molded structures to store the colored pigments. So this question is from the cell chapter again. That is chromoplast. Elluron means starch. If they are storing any starch, that is elluroplast. Sorry, elluron is protein. Yeah. So elluron is the protein. Amylum is the starch. Chloroplast, they are storing only chlorophyll pigments. So the answer, any colored pigments can be chromoplast. Only green color pigments is the chloroplast. Photorespiration reaction catalyzed by Rubisco is shown below. This question is again from the photosynthesis. So another question on the photorespiration. It is catalyzed by Rubisco. So RUBP first binds with the oxygen instead of carbon dioxide in the photorespiration, which is forming the 5 carbon containing molecule. One is the 3-phosphoglycerate, other one is the 2-phosphoglycolate will be formed. So photorespiration is the glycolate or glyoxylate pathway, which is a 2 carbon compound. Oxaloacetate, which is a 4 carbon, malate is 4 carbon, phosphoenol pyruvate is 3 carbon. As a 3 phosphoglycerate, PGA was already given, which is a 3 carbon compound. Another will be the 2 carbon compound. So RUBP is a 5 carbon compound. Answer will be phosphoglycolate. Match the following again, and this question is from morphology. So we have the different types of placentation and the examples. Marginal placentation is the seen in the pea plants. So all the seeds will be arranged on the margins. Whereas axial placentation is argemone. Parietal placentation, one sec. Axial placentation seen in the tomato. Parietal placentation can be seen in the argemone, whereas the free central placentation will be the primrose. So the key will be 3. Which of the following characteristic feature of Solanaceae family? So we have different families. So this question is also from morphology in flowering plants. Flowers are bisexual and actinomorphic. Correct. Calyx have 5 sepals and are united. Yes, they are in gamosepalous condition. The androecium have 5 stamens and are epipetalous, correct. The ovary is inferior, this is wrong. The ovary is superior and all the floral parts are present below the ovary. So only 3 statements are correct. The pigment has the maximum absorption peak at 700 nanometers in the photosynthetic reaction center, that is PS1. Obviously, chlorophyll A marked as a reaction center, rest of all are considered to be the light harvesting complexes. They will harvest the light and that light will be reached to the main reaction center where the main molecule is chlorophyll A. This question is also from photosynthesis. Mitochondrial inner membrane encloses. If you observe this mitochondria, this is outer membrane and inner membrane will be forming the folded like structures. This is called as cristae, which surrounding the portion called as the matrix. So mitochondrial inner membrane is enclosing the matrix. This question is from cell chapter again. Symbiotic association between the fungi and algae are called as. This is from biological classification chapter where we have the fungal associations. We can also see in the plant kingdom. So the fungi can be associated with the root of pinus as the mycorrhiza, and also fungi can be associated with the algae to form the lichens. As lichens are said to be a good pollution indicators, these are pollution indicators. Where the pollution is there, lichens cannot grow. If lichens are growing, it says that the pollution is actually absent. So they are showing the symbiotic relationship, that is fungi is considered to be a mycobiont and algae is the phycobiont. Fungi, uh, algae, both are benefiting each other. Algae is giving the food as it is photosynthetic. Fungi is giving the shelter and it will increase all the absorption area so that all the water, minerals, everything will be absorbed required for the photosynthesis by algae. Which of the following plant growth regulator used as the herbicide? This question is from PGR, plant growth and development. So we have different plant growth regulators. Under that, inhibitors and promoters are there. 2,4-D is considered to be a herbicide mostly in the dicot weeds. To make the weed-free lawns, we will be using this. Most of the farmers will be using this as the herbicide. How many turns of Kelvin cycle are required for the formation of 3 molecules of glucose? We know this. 6 cycles are actually required for the formation of 1 glucose. But here they are asking for 3 glucose molecules. How many cycles are required? So that will be 6 into 3. Total 18 cycles are required, which gives only 3 glucose molecules. So this question is from photosynthesis. Arrange the following taxonomic categories in ascending order. Again, this question is from living world. Ascending order, we need to go from low to higher. First, let us say SGF, OCP, K. So species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom, and we have domain, life as well. So when you are going in a ascending order, the lower will be the species. So species comes first, genus, family, order, class, phylum, and kingdom. G, A, E, C, B, D, F. The correct sequence of experiments that led to the gradual understanding of photosynthesis in the green plants. This question is from the introduction part of the photosynthesis. Let us see the role of air. during the photosynthesis, releasing of oxygen, then production of glucose, absorption spectra of chlorophyll A and B. That's the correct sequence. All the gradual experiments, the sequence of experiments which helped the photosynthesis in green plants understand in a better way. Spinopsida class belongs to. So this question is from plant kingdom. We have Lycopsida, Pteropsida, Spinopsida. All these categories are giving under the pteridophytes. 131. This question is from biological classification. Here says about match the following. The fusion of protoplasms between the gametes, that is plasmogamy. Fusion of two nuclei. Carry-on means nuclei. So gamy means fusion, nucleogamy. Generation of haploid spores, that will be because of the meiosis. Haploid cells will be formed as it is showing the reductional chromosomal division. So it will be 4. Which of the following is not a prokaryote? Blue-green algae, it's a prokaryote. Mycoplasma, also prokaryote. Bacteria, also prokaryote. All these are belonging to the kingdom that is Monera. And fungi is actually the eukaryote. So answer will be fungi. This is from biological classification again. Genus represents. So here we have the another question from the living world. So we all know that genus is a group of related species. So that is 2. Mad cow disease is caused by. Again, this question is from biological classification. We have the last part that is about the viral agents, that is viroids and prions, which are the subviral agents. So usually, if the improper folding of the protein occurs, that will make the prions. So these prions will cause the mad cow disease, also called as a BSE, bovine spongiform encephalopathy in the case of cattle, and it will also cause Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease in the case of humans. CJD will be in the humans, BSE in the cattle. So that is caused by the prions. As these prions, due to the misproper folding, they will reach the human brain or the animal brain, will make them mad. The inactive form of Bt toxin is converted to the active form in the insect gut due to the alkaline pH. So this question is from biotech. Again, this is also from biotech. Transformation, the transfer of DNA to host bacteria. So A will be 2. Cloning site uh, by restriction enzyme. Selection, yeah. Antibiotic, origin site for replication. So answer will be 4. How many theca are present in each lobe of a typical bilobed angiosperm anther? So this question is from sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So usually if you observe, angiosperm will be having the 2 lobes of anther. Each lobe will be containing 2 structures. So suppose this is angiospermic anther. This is a bilobed. One lobe is one theca, another is another theca. So that will be having. Yeah, so they asked about the theca only. They are not asking about any microsporangium here. So two sporangium. This is two sporangium are present. Bisporangiate. 4 are present. Tetrasporangiate. So how many theca are present in each lobe? Each lobe will contain only 2 in the bilobed anther. This question is from Principles chapter. In an experiment, Mendel observed that F1 progeny plants are tall and none are dwarf. So we know this. Usually Mendel crossed tall with the dwarf plant. The alleles will be capital TT and small tt. So here the gametes we get here is capital T gamete, small t gamete. When the gametes are fused, the F1 generation we get is capital T and small t. All the phenotypes are tall. You cannot see any dwarf in the F1 generation. So first statement is true. Stem height is the contrasting trait with tall being dominant and dwarf being recessive. So they crossed by taking only one character in the monohybrid cross. He got the tall as well as the dwarf, and all the 100% is tall seen in the F1 generation because tall is being dominant. So both are correct, and it is also explaining the assertion properly. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of it. Reason, as the tall is being so dominant, all the F1 progeny are showing only the tall phenotype. During the PCR, primers bind to the DNA strands in which step? So this question is from biotech. So in the annealing step, all the primers will come and bind to the strands of this DNA. Which of the following plant produce non-albuminous seeds? This is from sexual reproduction of flowering plants. That is P. Because albuminous seeds or endospermic seeds, non-albuminous or non-endospermic seeds, because all will be utilized during the development only. Maize is the monocot, whereas the barley also monocot, wheat is also monocot, peat is a dicot. So dicots will be having the non-endospermic seeds. Example is the pea here. For a person with the blood group O, which of the following is not possible combination of parents' blood group genotypes? So this question is from Principles chapter. So let us say if the father is with the heterozygous condition, mother is also A group. So obviously A group and O group are possible. Father with the B, mother is also with the B with the same genotype. So the B group and O group is possible. If you have the father with the AB and the mother with the A group, means the possible groups are either A group or AB group or B group, but not the O group. So let us see properly. IAIB, father genotype, IAI, mother genotype. So the gametes we get from here will make A group possible. IAI, A is possible. IAIB, AB is possible. IBI, B is possible. But there is no chance for the O group. And father with IAI, father mother with IBI. So the possible groups are, let us see, IAI, IBI. So AB is possible, A is possible, B is possible, O is possible. But not possible group is option 3. Father with the AB and mother with the heterozygous with A group. Which of the following is used as a clot buster? So this question is from microbes in human welfare. And here that will be streptokinase, not the statins. So streptokinase is extracted from the bacteria that is streptococcus, also called as the clot buster. Arrange the following in descending order the number of species in the Amazon rainforest. So this is from biodiversity and its conservation. They are asking about the descending order. We need to arrange them from high to low. So in the Amazon rainforest, let us see the plants are actually 40,000 and fishes are 3,000, birds are 1,300, whereas mammals and amphibians are sharing the same data, that is 427, and reptiles also will be there. So the reptiles will be 378 and the invertebrates are 1,25,000. So when we want to arrange from highest level, so the first one will be the invertebrates, second is plants, third will be the fishes, and fourth will be the birds, fifth will be the mammals. So D, A, C, B, E. Given those two statements, okay. Plasmids are, this question is also from cell chapter. Plasmids are autonomously replicating DNA. So they are autonomously means self. Plasmids are extra chromosomal materials and they are capable of replicating itself. The self replication can be seen. So this statement is true. Plasmids are extra chromosomal DNA, correct, which can be seen in the bacteria. And both the statements are marked correct here. If the diploid chromosome number of typical angiosperm is 36, what would be the chromosome number in its endosperm? So this question is from sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Usually diploid was given 36, then haploid will be 18, then triploid will be 54. Which of the following in female gametophyte of an angiosperm helps in guiding the pollen tube for fertilizing the egg? This is also from sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Usually, if you observe the structure, we have the central cells and three antipodals, synergids, and one egg cell. This is the egg cell, and it will be having the filiform apparatus. These two are the synergids. Near to this will be having the entry, that is micropyle, through which the pollen tube will enter into this, which is carrying the gametes. Now synergids are the one, they will be guiding the pollen tube to fertilize with the egg as well as the central nuclei. So it will be the synergids. Yeah, so this question is from organisms and population. Match the following type. We have the different types of interactions: predation, mutualism, competition, commensalism, amensalism, rest of all. So both the species are harmed in this. So obviously during the competition, both the species will be harmed. One species is harmed and other will be benefited. So that is predation or parasitism. Obviously, one will be harmed, other will be benefited. Both species are benefited in the case of mutualism. One is benefited while other has no effect. That other is being so neutral. That is the commensalism as well as amensalism. So the answer will be 3. Which of the following are primary consumers in the food chain? So usually we have the producers. Those are the green plants or any photosynthetic one that will be consumed by herbivores. Herbivores are eaten by carnivores and the higher organisms. Now, these are the producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers. Next, we have tertiary consumers, quaternary, and it goes to the maximum of 4 or 5 tropic levels depending on the type of food chain. So, this question is from ecology. And the answer will be herbivores are considered as the primary consumers in the case of food chain. This question is also from organisms and population. Abingdon tortoise in the Galapagos Islands became extinct within a decade after goats were introduced. Just by looking at the goat feeding capacity, the Abingdon tortoise panicked and it became extinct. Goats were more efficient at browsing than the Abingdon tortoise. That is the reason, because of the browsing capacity or because of the feeding capacity. Just by looking at the goat capacity, though the sources are unlimited, this tortoise became extinct in the Galapagos Islands. So both are correct and also the correct explanation. Which of the following statement uh, about lacoperon is correct? So here lactose activates the repressor to bind to the operator. Usually lactose inactivate the repressor. If lactose is present, repressor will be they cannot bind to the operator region and the lacoperon runs. So this statement is wrong. Gene IZYA shares a single common promoter. No, structural genes are following the one promoter, and this is different. So this is also wrong. Galactose can act as an inducer of lacoperon. No, only the lactose can act as an inducer. Gene I is constitutively expressed. This statement is correct. Whether the lactose is present or not, the gene I will be constitutively expressing. So this question is from the molecular basis of inheritance. Answer will be 4. So given are the two statements. This is from the disorders, that is from principles chapter. Down syndrome is caused by the absence of one of the X chromosomes. Usually, Down syndrome is also called as a 21st trisomy. Trisomy is the case for the diploid set, one of the chromosome will be added. The 46 number of chromosomes will be there, one chromosome is added, so it will be 47. It is not the absence of one of the X chromosome, it is due to the addition of one chromosome. So, the statement 1 is wrong. And Turner syndrome is caused by the presence of an additional copy of the chromosome. Yes, it is this is also wrong. It is not the additional, it is due to the absence of one chromosome. So that is 2n minus 1. 46 minus 1 we'll get the 45 chromosomes in the case of Turner syndrome. So both the statements are actually marked as incorrect. Given below the two statements, yeah. This question is from organisms and population. Yeah. The logistic model of population is considered more realistic than the exponential growth model. Okay, this statement is true. Resources are finite. This is also the true statement, and both are the correct explanation. Yeah, because of resources are finite, we can see we will be considering the logistic growth as the more realistic growth when compared to the exponential growth. So both are correct and also the correct explanation. Consider a population of 10 million cells given per capita birth rate is this. So this question is also from organisms and population. So consider the population of 10 million cells. It's given like this. So here we need to apply the formula dn by dt is equal to b minus d into n. So here n is 10 million, whereas b for birth rate 0.002 per unit time, as well as the death rate is also the same 0.002 per unit time, whereas r here is the net growth, that is 0. So when we apply all these values in the formula, then R is equal to B minus D. That is 0.002 minus 0.002, we will get 0. And NT is equal to N naught into e power RT. So NT will be the 10 million, e power R will be the 0 into time. So NT is equal to 10 million into 1, answer will be 10 million. The following statements are correct. Which of them are correct? Energy flow. So this question is from ecosystem. Energy flow from producers to consumers is unidirectional. Correct. It's always the unidirectional when we are going to the next trophic level. Energy pyramid can never be inverted. This is also the correct statement because pyramid of energy is not inverted. Pyramid of biomass can be inverted in the aquatic ecosystem. The transfer of energy follows the 1% law. It's not 1%, it is 10% law. So only A and B statements are correct. Which of the following enzymes synthesizes the precursor of mRNA? This question is from molecular basis of inheritance. And we have the three polymerases mentioned over there. So one will be the polymerase 1, 2, 3, all the RNA polymerases. So polymerase 1 is for rRNA synthesis, that is 28S, 18S as well as the 5.8S. Whereas the polymerase 3, all these are direct NCRT lines for tRNA as well as 5S rRNA and SN RNA. Whereas coming to the polymerase 2, RNA polymerase 2, heteronucleolar RNA, which will be transcribing the precursor of mRNA. So RNA polymerase 2 will be the answer.